The lingering mark, a cut deeper than skin. He remembered the conversations. They were brief. It seemed like a simple choice then. A common procedure, they called it. He was an adult. He thought he understood. He made the decision. He trusted the doctors. He believed it would be minor. A small thing, quickly forgotten. He was wrong. So very wrong. The memory felt like a shadow now. Always there. The days after were a blur of pain, a sharp, insistent agony. It was not what he expected. Not at all. The healing was slow. Too slow. Each movement was a careful negotiation. Sleep offered little escape. He would wake, startled by the throb. The doctors said it was normal. Give it time, they advised. But time stretched. It felt endless. And the pain changed, but it did not leave. Then came the scarring. It was not just a line. It was a tightness, a pulling. His body felt altered, permanently. He would look at himself. He felt a deep disconnect. This was his body, yet it felt alien. The scar was a constant reminder, a physical testament to a choice he now questioned every single day. It was a mark on his skin, and a mark on his spirit. The emotional toll was heavy. He felt damaged, incomplete. He tried to hide it, from his wife, from himself. But the feeling persisted. It was a quiet grief he carried, a sadness that settled deep in his bones. He wondered if he would ever feel whole again. The procedure was meant to be simple. Instead, it had complicated everything. His life felt irrevocably changed. Echoes in intimacy, the fading sensation. Intimacy became a source of anxiety. He longed for closeness with his wife. He craved her touch. But things were different now. Terribly different. The sensitivity he once knew was gone. Or it was delayed, muted, like listening to music through thick walls. He tried to pretend. He tried to respond as he once did. But the pretense was exhausting. It felt like a lie, a betrayal of their connection. His wife, Sarah, noticed. Of course she did. She was intuitive, loving. She asked if he was okay. She asked if something was wrong. He mumbled excuses, work stress, tiredness. He could not bring himself to say the words. How could he explain this loss? This strange numbness that had invaded their most private moments. He saw the confusion in her eyes. He saw the hurt. It pained him deeply. The bedroom, once a sanctuary, felt different. It was filled with unspoken questions, with his hidden fears. He started to avoid intimacy, making excuses, staying up late. The distance between them grew. It was a quiet, creeping separation, not born of anger, but of misunderstanding, and his profound, isolating shame. He felt like he was failing her, failing their marriage. His sense of self as a man was shaken. Intimacy had been part of their language, a way they connected. Now that language was broken. He felt less than, inadequate. He wondered if she still found him desirable. He wondered if she blamed him. These thoughts circled in his mind, relentless, unforgiving. The physical scar was bad, but this invisible wound, this loss of sensation, cut deeper. A silent yearning, the dream of family deferred. They had always talked about children, a family. It was a shared dream, a cornerstone of their future plans. They imagined little footsteps, laughter echoing through their home. After the surgery, after the initial healing, they began trying. Hope was a fragile thing they nurtured. Each month held a quiet anticipation, a possibility. They wanted this so much. It felt like the natural next step. But months turned into a year, then two. The anticipation slowly morphed. It became a quiet dread. Each negative test was a small heartbreak, a fresh wave of disappointment. Sarah tried to be strong. He saw her quiet tears sometimes. He tried to be supportive, but a knot of fear was tightening inside him. Was this his fault too? Was the botched procedure to blame for this emptiness as well? They sought medical advice. Tests were run, many tests. Then came the appointment. The doctor's words were gentle, but they landed like blows. His fertility was compromised, likely a consequence of the surgery. Inflammation, scarring. The news was devastating. It confirmed his deepest fears. He felt a crushing weight of guilt. He had brought this upon them, this aching void where their dreams used to be. The strain on their marriage intensified. The unspoken became heavy. Sarah never blamed him outright, but he saw the sorrow in her eyes. He blamed himself enough for both of them. The dream of a child was so intertwined with their love. Now it felt like another casualty of that fateful decision. Their home felt quieter, their future less certain. The silence was filled with what might have been. Trial by fire, when flames mirrored the soul. It happened on an ordinary Tuesday evening. They were quiet, lost in their own thoughts. Then, a strange smell, acrid, sharp. He looked at Sarah. She had noticed it too. Panic flickered. He ran to the kitchen. Smoke was pouring from behind the old refrigerator. Small flames licked at the wall. It was happening so fast, unbelievably fast. There was no time to think, only to act. The next few minutes were chaos, shouting, the blare of the smoke alarm. He grabbed Sarah's hand. They had to get out. Possessions did not matter, only their lives. They stumbled out into the night air, coughing, watching in disbelief. Flames erupted from the windows, their home, their sanctuary. It was being consumed, engulfed by a raging, destructive force. It felt surreal, a nightmare. They stood on the curb, wrapped in blankets a neighbor gave them. They watched the fire crews battle the blaze. But it was too late. Their home was gone, everything they owned. Memories turned to ash. He held Sarah close. She was trembling. He felt a strange numbness. Another loss, another devastation. It felt like the universe was testing them, pushing them to their absolute limit. How much more could they endure? As the embers glowed against the dark sky, a thought emerged. This fire, this terrible, destructive event. It was a physical manifestation of his internal world. The pain, the loss, the feeling of being consumed by forces beyond his control. Yet, amidst the ashes, there was also a stark clarity. Everything was stripped away. Perhaps this was a chance to rebuild, not just a house, but their lives. From the very foundation, a painful, terrifying, but maybe, just maybe, a new beginning.